You're walking through tall grass, and something moves at the edge of your vision. You don't run. You don't fight. Your entire body locks, mid-step, breath caught in your chest, eyes fixed on the exact spot where the movement was. For decades, this reaction had no real name in the popular version of survival psychology. Everyone learned fight or flight, two options, both requiring your body to explode into motion. Nobody taught you about the third option, the one your body actually chooses more often than either of the other two. Freezing isn't a malfunction. It isn't cowardice. And by the time you finish this video, you're going to realize it may be the single smartest thing your body has ever learned how to do. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, neuroscientist Stephen Porges, then working on what would become known as polyvagal theory, proposed something that reorganized how researchers understood the nervous system's response to danger. Fight and flight, Porges explained, are both driven by the sympathetic nervous system, the accelerator, the part of you built for explosive action. But there's an older, separate branch of the nervous system running through the vagus nerve that does something almost opposite. Under extreme threat, it can trigger immobilization. Not panic-driven, chaotic freezing, but a specific, coordinated shutdown, reduced heart rate, reduced movement. A kind of physiological stillness. Porges argued this wasn't a broken response sitting alongside two working ones. It was a third, fully separate survival strategy, wired into a part of the nervous system so old evolutionarily that we share it with reptiles. To understand why freezing earned its own dedicated wiring, you need to understand something specific about how a huge number of predators actually see the world. Across a wide range of predator species, from big cats to birds of prey, visual detection systems are heavily tuned to motion. Movement against a static background is what jumps out, what the eye locks onto, what triggers pursuit. A completely still object, by contrast, can genuinely blend into a visual field that's built to prioritize things that move. This is not a minor detail. Field researchers studying predator-prey interactions have long documented freezing as a legitimate, widespread anti-predator strategy across an enormous range of prey species. Precisely because so many predators' attack responses are triggered by detected motion in the first place. For an early human standing in tall grass with something moving at the edge of their vision, becoming instantly, completely still wasn't paralysis getting in the way of survival. It may have been the single fastest way to become invisible to a visual system built to notice movement. Fighting risked a losing battle. Fleeing risked triggering a chase you couldn't win. Freezing, for one crucial window of time, risked nothing because it made you disappear. Once researchers began looking for freeze responses specifically, rather than assuming every threat response would look like panic, they found it everywhere they hadn't thought to look before. Clinical psychologists studying trauma survivors began documenting something that had previously been misunderstood, sometimes tragically so. A significant number of people who experience acute, overwhelming threat report not fighting and not fleeing, but going still, sometimes described as feeling physically unable to move or speak, for the duration of the event. Researchers studying this pattern, including work associated with psychologist Anna Miller's studies on assault survivors, found that a substantial portion of assault survivors reported this kind of involuntary immobility during the attack itself, a response that had, for years, been wrongly interpreted by others as a lack of resistance. Rather than what the nervous system evidence increasingly suggests, a distinct involuntary survival state. Separately, ethologists studying animal behavior across dozens of species, from rodents to primates, kept independently documenting the same three-branch response to threat, using different terminology in different fields decades before Porges connected it into a single unified framework. A psychologist studying human trauma and a researcher studying rodent behavior in a lab were, without knowing it, describing the same ancient nervous system doing the same ancient job. Here's where this stops being a story about tall grass and predators. The moment you went completely blank in an argument, unable to produce the response you'd later think of hours afterward. The interview where your mind simply stopped supplying words. The confrontation where, instead of standing your ground or walking away, you just stood there, locked, saying nothing. None of that was you failing to fight or failing to flee. It was your nervous system reaching for its third option. The one it reaches for automatically when a threat feels significant enough and escape feels uncertain enough, the same branch of the same ancient wiring that once made an early human vanish into tall grass. Modern life almost never rewards this response. Nobody in a meeting or an argument benefits from going still and silent the way an early human benefited from disappearing into grass. But your nervous system was never given an updated list of which threats deserve which response. It's still running the same three-option decision tree it always has, and sometimes, for reasons that have nothing to do with your character, it reaches for stillness instead of words. The grass is gone. Whatever moved at its edge is almost certainly gone too. But the freeze response built to make you disappear from something dangerous never got decommissioned. It's still sitting in your nervous system, waiting for the next moment that feels like danger, a confrontation, a spotlight, a threat you can't outrun and can't overpower. You didn't fail to act. Some ancient, exact part of you decided that stillness was the safest move you had. It was right more often than you've ever given it credit for.